Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
A very good Wednesday afternoon, and thanks to all of you around the state for joining us here on the Noon News. I'm Samantha Sullivan. The principal at Anaconda's Junior and Senior High School, who was under investigation in connection with a controversial text message, has resigned. Anaconda's school superintendent confirms that Sean Hansen submitted his resignation earlier this week. The decision came after Hansen was being investigated over a complaint lodged back in September by a 19-year-old former student who claimed Hansen sent him a message he believed was inappropriate. Hansen had been on administrative leave since the incident. The student said Hansen asked him out on a date. The Anaconda Police Department began an investigation, but since both parties are adults, the chief said there wouldn't be any criminal charges. And Mitchell Stadium in Anaconda has been reopened after it was closed to the public in October due to some possible contamination. Anaconda Superintendent Justin Barnes says a recent EPA study determined samples taken from the field were below any hazardous level. In late October, the field was closed after a buried railroad track was found under the field, prompting some concerns of possible arsenic and lead contamination. The field is now open to the public, but officials plan to take some more samples from the field to ensure it is safe. Montana Tech is anxiously awaiting a report that is expected to include possible faculty and staff cuts. The report, which was expected to come earlier at the end of the week, is aimed at finding ways to cut between $500,000 to $1 million from the university's budget. This comes after a decrease in enrollment this fall by about 100 students. Currently, the Butte University has 182 full-time and 67 part-time faculty members, as well as 284 staff members. The report could suggest a cut of up to 15 employees. But despite the current drop in enrollment, university officials say they are confident those numbers will spike back up in the future. Well, new this afternoon, some electric and natural gas customers will soon be getting a rebate thanks to last year's federal tax cut bill in the Montana Public Service Commission. The PSC voted Tuesday to approve a rebate totaling $19.5 million for Northwestern Energy customers. Electric customers will each get a $24 credit on a future bill, and natural gas customers will get a credit of $3.50. Last year, the PSC told Northwestern and other utilities their benefit from the corporate tax cut should flow to customers. Northwestern originally proposed rebates of just $8.5 million and wanted to use another $6 million of its tax break for trimming trees near power lines. But several consumer groups told the PSC the estimated tax break for Northwestern is worth more money and said all of that money should be going to consumers. Northwestern eventually reached an agreement on the larger amount. The settlement also sets aside about $1 million to help low-income customers pay their energy bills. And now we go to Helena, where Montana's 2019 legislature is set to begin in less than 6 weeks. The 2019 session will tackle plenty of big issues, including health care funding, Montana's escalating problem with methamphetamine, and the state budget. As MTN's Mike Dennison reports, the battle over an obscure House rule could make a big difference once this session gets rolling.
In Montana's 100-member House, a supermajority of 60 votes is needed to take a bill stalled in committee and move it to the House floor for further action. But some Republicans in the House and minority Democrats are proposing to change that rule so that only a simple majority, 51 votes, is needed to remove a bill from committee. Democratic House Minority Leader Casey Schreiner of Great Falls says the supermajority rule on blasting bills from committee is not how the legislature should work.
We've believed, and we have for session after session, that we don't even know if that's constitutional. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity of getting it back to where the majority of the people representing Montana have a say, and that's how we pass legislation in the state of Montana.
This change matters because without it, House GOP leadership can more easily kill key legislation they don't like by bottling it up in committee. If only 51 votes are needed to take the bill from committee, the chamber's 42 Democrats can join with just 9 Republicans to bring the bill to the floor and then pass it. But the supermajority requires at least 18 Republicans to join Democrats to move the bill, a much more difficult bar to clear. Republican State Senator Ed Buttrey of Great Falls proposed the rule change last month, and it's been forwarded to the House Rules Committee. He says the Senate has always required a simple majority to overturn committee decisions, and that the House should too. But incoming Republican House Speaker Greg Hertz told MTN News earlier this month that he believes the 60-vote supermajority requirement should remain.
I do like the supermajorities. You know, legislation should not be easy to pass. It's always good to make sure that legislation has to go through a process, so at the end, we end up with a good product.
The House Rules Committee, whose members were appointed by Hertz, is unlikely to adopt the change. That means those pushing the change may have to fight it out on the House floor the first week of the session and get a majority vote to overturn the Rules Committee. But these competing factions could work out a deal, ensuring that a few select controversial bills advance to the House floor for debate and a vote. Whatever happens, should play a role in the outcome of key legislation at the upcoming session. At the Capitol, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Former Great Falls Senator Ed Buttrey will shift to the House this session, where he'll take the new seat January 7th, the opening day of the 2019 session. And now we'll turn things over to Ed in the Weather Center. Ed, it's actually a pretty nice day out there.
Depending on the part of the state, you rarely have some nice conditions. I say that because we have to start over in Missoula, where things don't look quite so good. Let's go ahead and take a look. We've got some clouds and some snow showers and low visibility there. 96% relative humidity with some showers from Missoula towards the north, but it's pretty comfortable. 40 degrees, a calm wind down in Butte for today. Take a look over towards Great Falls, where it's 47 with sunshine, but you've got the wind that's still in the mix, at least breezy, not nearly as gusty as it was yesterday. And in Helena, looking at a little bit of a west breeze and a comfortable 45 degrees here as of lunchtime. In Billings, we got some breaks in the clouds and sitting at 50, just a little bit of a wind. But there are some changes. We'll tell you about those coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Ed. Well, in less than a month, another lucky person in the Treasure State will become a Montana millionaire. This is the 12th year the game has been run by the Montana Lottery, with the purpose of ensuring that one Montanan becomes a millionaire. As of today, there are less than half of the 150,000 tickets still available. Lottery organizers say this is the fastest selling year on record, with ticket sales up 33%. Communications Director Jennifer McKee says this is one of the Montana Lottery's favorite times of the year.
We call it Millionaire Season because it really is really fun. It's fun to watch Montanans get involved in this game. It's a fun, easy game, and it's fun to watch the winners come in.
A Vaughn man claimed the first Montana Millionaire early bird prize this week. The next early bird drawing is on December 14th. The big drawing will be conducted once all those tickets are sold.